And welcome, folks, to Wizards pregame. We got Cardo Dudley Jr., Wilson Tarpe Jr., and Washington Wizards. They host the Trailblazers tonight at Capital One Arena. Washington is currently on a 9-game losing streak. They fell to the Hornets 119, 115 last time they were out. That was on the road in Charlotte before all the snow hit the East Coast. Portland enters this game at 23 and 24 on the season. They're coming off back-to-back losses to the Raptors and Celtics. So Portland's trying to get back to 500 and stay in the thick of it in that race out west. On the injury front, Portland will be without Matisse Thybulle and Chris Murray, Robert Williams III, Duop East, and former Wizard Denny Abdi are all game time decisions. Although Cardell, you said it looks like Denny went from questionable to probable, so that's great. For Washington, they're without
Available.
Marvin Bagley. What?
Available, so he's playing.
Okay,
So
great.
what time he on?
Great. Marvin Bagley there. No Marvin Bagley for Washington. No Tristan Vukovic. No Ken Whitmore was out for the season. And then no Trey Young. Chris Middleton, the game time decision. So we'll see how that looks. This is the first of two games these teams will play this season. So, Cardell, what must the Wizards do to snap this 9-game losing streak and take the first game in their season series with the Blazers?
Three things they got to focus on with the Blazers: 3-point attempts, rebounding, and free throw attempts. You got to keep them off the line. I'm gonna start with Denny Abdia, who's having a career year. Obviously, when he was in Washington, we could see him trending towards this way, and now he's put it all together. And he's a perfect example. I'm speaking in general. It's nothing at the Wizards organization or whatnot. But I'm just speaking in general. He's a perfect example of why you don't give up on young players. Not saying they did. I'm just again in general. You don't give up on them too soon. You see them through, especially if they show steady progression year after year, because this what can happen. The players are coming in younger than ever, 18, 19. Takes time for them to grow and develop, and not just the talent-wise, the maturity and understanding of what it takes to be a pro year in year out. And you see what's happening. How old is he? 25, right? That's the usual progression of, like, say, prior years when guys would stay in college 3 or 4 years, come out, you 21, 22, need a few years to get acclimated to the league. Physically, you might need you're mature, but you got to understand what the league is all about. And then about 25, 26, when you're knocking on the door of your prime, you figure it out. You become what you're going to be. You usually hit your ceiling. And then it's just a matter of extending that prime. And he's entering his prime, and you see what he's doing. He's averaging 26 points, 7.1 rebounds, 6.9 assists a game, man, on career year, on 47, 35, 80 shooting splits. He's getting it done. It's no other way around it. Got to keep him off the 3-point line. He averages about 6 a game. He knocks down about a little over 2 a game. He gets to the line a lot. He averages 9.8 free throw attempts a game. That's up there in the league. So if you run him off the line, you got to play sound defense, or you're just going to put him on the line, and he's just going to kill you from there. And on top of that, fouls will pile up. Then you're going to be in the bonus. Guys going to be on the bench. Then you got to it's going to be a whole lot of mismatches for this young and up-and-coming Blazers team that's not, good for the Wizards. That's, Denny, he's kind of the guy that you got to kind of, slow down if you want to, get this win. Next up, Jeremy Grant, just consummate professional. I don't like calling him a 3-and-D guy because he do a lot of other things too, but that's, kind of what he's being used for. He's shooting 37% from deep this season. He gets up 6 attempts. Again, you're going to have to guard the 3-point line a lot, because not only can they get him up there, they're top players. The top players hit them too. Now, when you get in the rotation, it's hit and miss, but the top guys, the top tier, the main guys, they're going to hit them. He's averaging 19.2 points a game, 3.7 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 37% from deep. Also, keep him off the line. He gets this 6 times a game, 84% from the line. So you got to guard him. And let us not forget, he's a ball hawk on defense. Guarding anywhere from the 1 through the 4. So attacking him is not ideal. They want to call for that screen, get him up off you. But he fights, and he will fight, but obviously a weakness in his game, ball screen navigation. He kind of go to sleep on that, and so that's a way to kind of attack him. But going head up isolation, and that's gonna be a tough tall task, man. You got to pick and choose your battles. Next up to Monty Kamara. We spoke about him for years, throughout dating and the Sportsmith years. Averaging 13.1 points, 5.1 rebounds, 2.6 assists a game. He leads the team in 3-point attempts. Actually, 7.2 a game, shooting 35% from deep. 3-and-D guy, but he can do other things. He can rebound. He can facilitate. He doesn't get to the free throw line a lot, so that's one thing the Wizards could try to exploit. Run him off the line and make him do something. You know what I mean? And that might be able to make him play out of rhythm and play uncomfortably, but he can finish. So, and he can make reads. So, you got to pick your poison. But yeah, run him off the 3-point line, see what it takes. Since he's not accustomed to going to the free throw line, making decisions off the bounce, man. Obviously, Drew Holiday. What more you want me to say about Drew Holiday? One of the greats. I call him this era Sidney Moncrief for a variety of reasons. He can score it, he can pass it, he can rebound it. Lord knows he can defend it. So, but to just bring the point home, or my point with the keys to the game, he gets up 6 threes a game. He makes 36%. Got to guard him. He doesn't get to the free throw line as much. Obviously, facilitating, that's not his role. Getting other guys involved, but he's averaging 15.3 points, 6.9 assists. He can facilitate, 4.5 rebounds a game. Obviously, 1.4 steals, and we know the defense going to be there. So, Bub, Trey, and all those guys, don't play around. Get to it. He's not the one to play with. Caleb Love. Has had a very good year, man. Undrafted kid and is in the rotation producing, averaging 11.3 points, 2 rebounds, a little under 3 assists. He gets up 6 3-pointers a game. He's not efficient, 32%. He's one of the guys I'm saying in the rotation that's not efficient, but he get him up. But he's capable. You know what I mean? It may not happen every night, but he's capable. So I'm pretty sure he will be motivated. Like I said, he went undrafted. A lot of players on this team that were drafted ahead of the opposing team on the Wizards that were drafted ahead of him. So, of course, I feel like he's going to be out there to try to make a point. So, they got to be, wary of that. And he doesn't get to the free throw line that much. Shaden Sharp, one of the most explosive players in the league. Feel like he's probably the most athletic, averaging 21.6 points, 4.7 rebounds, and 2.7 assists, 1.5 steals. 3-pointers, like I said, 33%. He's not the most efficient, but he get up 6 a game. His bread and butter is the mid range and finishing at the basket. So you get, and if he gets a step on you and you're late rotating, just let it go. Just let it go. Do not do that. Don't jump with that. It's going to end bad for you. Just get him next time. Keep him on the ground. Simple as that. Do not jump with that dude. 77% from the free throw line, 4 attempts. Up there, close to, a little bit under what the top guys on the team are doing as far as getting to the line. You got to be able to guard him. You know what I mean? You got to be able to keep a body on him. But like I said, with his explosiveness, his strength, how dynamic he is, it's hard. It's hard to keep him off the line. And he gets in the mid-range. If you crowd the paint, he's going to go to mid-range. If you don't crowd, he's looking to take flight. So, but you got to be conscious of where he's at, man, because it ain't nothing for him to put up 20, 25 a game in the game and win the game, man. And last but not least, Donovan Clingan. It's going to be interesting to see him with Saar battle. They were in the same draft, so I was drafted ahead of him in the lottery. Clingan is basically, his game is finishing inside, rebounding, rim protecting. 11.2 points a game, 53% from the field. 65% from the free throw line, but he doesn't get that many attempts too. Kind of a lob threat, roller in the paint, draw attention, give it to him, finish inside. But leads the team with 11 rebounds per game, and he's a rim protector, 1.3 blocks, and they got a bunch of wings that are ball swatters as well. They get up there and try to get it too. So, but yeah, he's a rim protector, elite rim protector. So the Wizards got to go up there and go strong at the basket. Got to go strong with the basket and look to finish, man, to take the content. But main thing with him, rebound. rebound. And the Wizards do these things, they got a chance to win. It's going to be interesting to see quite where they are with another young team that is ahead of them as far as the progression, but still trying to figure some things out. I believe Portland's ninth in the West. They're in a play-in right now. That's the next step for this young Wizards team to try to get to. If not this season, obviously the season's kind of tough to try to battle back. Definitely next season.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. That's Portland's kind of where Washington would like to be next year, where you're in the mix for the play-in. Obviously, but like you said, it's a lot of a lot of big wings on the floor in this game. But I'm with you with the glass. They don't rebound. This is going to be a long game. You can't give. You talked about how much Portland likes to put up the three ball, right? The
Yeah.
last thing in the world you want is for Klingon to dominate the offensive boards, and you just spraying back out to giving some of those guys second and third opportunities, where we all know that second and third opportunity from three is always more than likely. It's a much cleaner look than that first look.
Yeah.
Um, you just can't afford that at all. And then I know Washington likes to run. Portland's not a team that has an issue in terms of that not having young bodies. So I'm interested to see how that goes. But they better take care of the ball, like you said, with Drew, Tamani out there. This can't be a game where you don't take care of the ball, coupled with settling for jumpers. You settle for
Right.
jumpers and not take care of the ball. That's almost now you're doubling your turnovers almost, and they're getting out and running. And like you said, with Denny and the progression he's made, that's somebody. If he gets the board, they're running. He's pushing. You guys know what that looked like. He did it when he was here, and he's more so into his own space now in Portland, which is why the glass is so important. It's not just the bigs. You mentioned Jeremy Grant. Everybody on that team can hit the glass. Drew Holiday has no issue getting in there and getting on the boards as well. So we'll see how that goes. Carl laid out a bunch of things for you guys to keep an eye on as this game is set to tip off. So enjoy the game, and we'll check in with you guys afterwards on Wizards Outlook.